Qualifier number 5, Garden of Terror, is kicking the final qualifier for Meta Madness off, and we have the Akatsuki against Team Ash. Quick reminder, the Akatsuki have not played in the last qualifier, in the 4th, and they have not played in the first qualifier. Back then, they were still in a team with some of the North American players who withdrew from the competition, and then Skork and Ultralistic, they formed a new team. They formed the Akatsuki, and now, of course, both teams are trying to get themselves some additional points to move up in the leaderboard and ensure that they're participating in the playoffs. Now, once again, we have pre-bans in the tournament. Meta Madness follows a couple of simple rules. The whole idea here is to push the players and the teams outside of their comfort zone and force them to play some heroes that they normally wouldn't consider. And we accomplish that by doing 2 things. Number 1, there is an amount of pre-bans. And for this event, we have 18 heroes that are now pre-banned. These heroes cannot be picked at all in any of the games. 3 more were added. Maiev, Li Ming, and Garrosh. So those are now also out. And in addition to that, we have a second rule that every single hero can still only be played once within a series. So as you can already see, it starts getting a bit tricky when you move into game number 3, game number 4, and so on and so forth. As the teams are moving through the qualifier, they try qualifying for the playoffs. In the playoffs, there's $2,000 of prize money on the line. Again, bit of an early Christmas present for the Heroes of the Storm community. Everything financed by me. We don't have any big name sponsors here, so I put up the prize money and everything else. And with that, we are having, at least thus far, a pretty amazing tournament with tons of awesome games. And that's kind of what we're looking forward to today as well. So let's see what we're going to get. We have, first and foremost, Zeratul and a Nubarak band out. I mean, obviously, now that Garrosh is gone, it immediately means that there is more pressure on the tanks as well. In the meantime, maybe as a quick note, there are a couple of subs in this game. So the Akatsuki are playing today, but Masquerade isn't here, for example. So there's 2 subs on their side. They have Außenseiter and they have Menaldor subbing in for them right now. How that's going to impact them? I mean, we're going to find out. They don't have to win the qualifier to make it into the playoffs, but obviously you want to get as high as possible in those rankings because you get an easier bracket if you are within the top 4, for example. That's just a given. And, well, we get the Haka as our first pick. Doesn't come as a shock, this is Garden of Terror after all, so you have a big map, you want to play a global, and the Haka is also really nice, with just covering lanes, taking the minion waves down, helping out on mercenary camps, and controlling the map on the macro level just helps you even more. Rhaegar for Rhaenyra, that's always a given. When he gets a chance to play the hero, he will play him, and Rhaegar is also very good on the map because you have so many mercenary camps that you want to claim here too. And Shizakid locks in Muradin very quickly. So the priority in heroes that you would draft has already shifted completely. I mean, first of all, you're now thinking much sooner about getting your own tank, because tanks are starting to become a bit of a rare commodity here. Variant taken on the other side, so the teams have, at least for now, a similar idea behind their draft. They are all looking for stuns with follow-up, and Stukov comes in for Banana Age to try and facilitate that for the Akatsuki. And it's interesting. More pre-bans just means that we're accelerating the process, right? So the first map is already gonna be more interesting than it usually would be, and then once they're getting into map number 3, 4, 5, things are just gonna get bananas. Chromie gets banned. Khaldor approves. Get that gnome out of my game. And we have a ban on Medivh, which also makes sense here. Ultralisk would be another candidate of trying to play Medivh later on in the series, but so far we haven't really gotten any of that. I just want to see what the damage dealers are going to be. Oftentimes you have damage dealers picked early, but now damage dealers is actually kind of interesting, because when you're talking mages and just general ranged assassins, there's so many of them that you're always going to have some options there. So now we're getting Jaina for burst damage, also a nice camp clear from her. ETC has started to become really popular as a side laner now, also because he offers a global that helps teams to counterplay the Haka, for example. The additional stun helps too. And Ultralisk, I mean, he is not hesitating. Kerrigan immediately. Don't forget, Maiev is now permabanned, so she's not going to become a factor anymore for him. And we get Greymane as the final pick for the Akatsuki in game number 1 of the best of 3 series here. The games up to this point have been awesome, so qualifier number 5 can only be better, considering that we now have more pre-bans, and I'm very curious to see what's going to happen, particularly in the second day when we're going into the later rounds. But we get bishops, with his own pick now, the final pick for first game. And it is Imperious, so triple melee frontline for Team Ash, which they showcased already a lot in the past. And here we see it again. Let's see if they can take them down. Team Ash, are they going to be successful, or the Akatsuki going to win it here? Garden of Terror, map number 1. Team Ash against the Akatsuki, the first game of the series, and on the left in blue, Renella on Rega. We got Bishops on Imperius, Lopaka on Jaina, Shizakid is playing Muradin, and Morenas on ETC. Over to the right side of the map, their opponents, the Akatsuki. This is the third qualifier out of 5 that they're participating in, so they really want some points today. We have Banana H on Stukov, going on level 1 straight into the low blow for the Lurking Arm build. We have Ultralisk on Carrigan, Skok on Varian, Außenseiter on Greymane, and Meneldoa is playing Dehaka. So them playing with 2 subs has also forced them to switch roles just a little bit. Attempt to go for Stormbolt here. Maybe a bit over-eager. Shizakid, no patience. The man just jumps straight into battle, straight into the mid lane. Is like, alright, let's go, boys. Nobody's there, unfortunately, so he doesn't even throw the Stormbolt. But here comes Carrigan, and she's a little bit late. Varian is already dead. He just pulled a Lauber. That was the first one to fall, but Greymane is hungry. He wanted to go for some beef here, and Morena's nearly died. And all of a sudden, it's the big bad wolf that's down. Guys, Team Ash just opened game number 1 up with a double kill. Not bad. Yeah, maybe it's a problem for the Akatsuki that they have 2 subs today. Time will tell, but the early minutes, the first minute of the game definitely goes to the blue team. No doubt about it. So let's see if they can recover here. But that must at least feel pretty good. Shizakid is just now trying to piss them off a bit. Get maybe a Stormball out here too. Greymane moves over towards the camp, so nothing happening in this instance. Up at the top, we're actually having Varian side lane against ETC. That's a lane that you don't see every day, but it's not going to be there for long. As long as Varian doesn't have his taunt, they're going to be totally fine. So I thought. Oi, oi, oi. Good job, ETC. You saved Muradin. The bad news is you potentially just screwed yourself. So Carrigan gets stunned for a moment. If Morenas doesn't get the cooldown back, he's dead. And yeah, he's still gonna die. He's not making it. I'm sorry. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but yeah, that's a kill. So ETC, bye-bye. It was an honorable decision to go for the power slide, and it must have felt really good to just stun out, I believe it was 4 heroes. But after that, there's just no coming back from that position, so a bit unfortunate. Now we have level 4 talents in, which means that Varian now is turning into a real hero. We have him with Taunt. My man has been practicing in front of a mirror as usual, trying to insult people all day, every day. Which, by the way, lets me to believe that there is a high chance that Varian has some German ancestry, because it comes natural to us. We can piss people off without even trying, and if your main job is to taunt people, I honestly think the Germans, they would be very good at that. Very efficient. Well, and he's already doing it, and Carrigan is following up on it, and ETC! Kill for the Akatsuki. Yay! And they still have Siege Giants down here. That's also awesome. Not only did they get a kill, but they removed the defender from the mid lane, and that allows them to take the entire wall out. Nice. Me likey. Job well done. That was actually pretty good. That was very nice for them. So, about as good as it gets. They definitely recovered from that shock of losing 2 heroes this early in the game. Skok, then again, might be in trouble. Gets hit hard by that Stormbolt. They really want him, don't they? 4 heroes are jumping on him, and Varian dies again. A little bit suicidal. I talked the other day about it, how I personally have a theory that Varian wants to die because he's living a life in shame, looking at Anduin and his offspring. But then again, he's overdoing it right now. That's the second time that he died. Yeah, he's circling the drain pretty heavily here. So, level 7 talents are kicking in. We have the low blow build being continued or the lurking arm build being continued for Banana H, and he gets jumped by Muradin immediately. There's all those stuns. It's CC City with one crowd control skill after another, but Carrigan with a combo choke point. They go for Greymane, he survives. Bishops, how is Bishop still alive? They kill Varian and they kill Dehaka. Are you kidding me? And then Ultralisk comes in And gets killed as well. Oh my god. That is just ruthless. Red team was so close. So damn close to actually get some kills. And they really believed, they thought they could snowball that and get multiple ones. But then they lose hero after hero on this one. So the Akatsuki are now down by 5 kills. And Team Ash has taken once again a significant lead in experience. Yeah, this is just looking amazing for them. That team fight was brutal. From the perspective of the red team, it was absolutely disastrous. And you could really tell. They just thought, okay, once we kill the first hero, the fight is going to snowball into our favor and we can just clean house. And then they couldn't kill Imperius. He was just alive, getting heals. And yeah, one after another, they were stunned and taken down. So, big issue there. But then again, Ultralisk also getting attacked and gets killed too. Guys, that's 8 kills. 8 kills against the Akatsuki. They're getting a counter kill, but holy moly. This is not a good start into tournament number 3. Now, keep in mind, they are currently in the playoff ranks, but depending on what happens with other teams, maybe they are going to drop out. They're not guaranteed. And positioning is also important. Varian in trouble, and yep, that's another kill. And that was really unfortunate. I mean, if you followed that fight, check out how Varian falls, or why Varian falls. Varian actually charges in, and that misaligns the positioning and pushes him out of the fight. Take another look at this. Keep your eye on Varian here. So ETC comes in, Varian tries to slow them down a little bit, and then dives after them, ends up in the wrong spot, and now it's 2 kills against the red team, with 10 kills in total against 3. Boah. I mean, level 10 abilities can always change things. That's 100% true. Level 10 can change everything. You might be in a spot here where you can come back once you line up your heroics properly. But it is a tough game now for the Akatsuki. Now, there isn't really much that has happened in terms of structures yet. That's, I would say, the saving grace. It's not like they lost already forts or keeps or anything. They're behind by an entire level, which is salvageable, but they have to get somewhere there. So here comes the attack, and they're getting a kill on Kerrigan again. Ultralisk is just getting farmed at this point. Ultralisk died 3 times already, and they're just farming him like he's a minion with extra experience. So, yeah, they are just going ham on them. And there's another delivery system, and Außenseiter is dead as well. Gets offlaned right there. So, 12 kills to 3. Team Ash makes it look easy. They're honestly making it look easy right now. It's just like stun, 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 kill. That's pretty much what we're looking at. And yeah, but I mean, again, there's a lot of CC also on the side of the red team, but they just aren't able to sync it up properly. And Ultralisk in particular did not really have the showing yet that he wanted in this game. So now the first fort is destroyed. Siege Giants are also starting to take some of those towers down a notch. We have 1 seat taken this far, but the second one is now about to be grabbed, or so I thought. But here comes the blue team trying to prevent it from happening. And since they have a talent advantage, they are going straight in for the channel. We have, by the way, the same play here from Murden, and I've seen this build last qualifier already, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not quite sure if we're seeing some misclicks or if that hybrid style is all of a sudden becoming a bit more popular, but going Reverberation as your level 4 talent and then comboing it off with Healing Static just doesn't really make any sense. If you want to unlock Synergy, then you would go into the double clap on level 4, but they're not doing that at all. Instead of go, well, nice, well done. And there's the kill, the double, and it's a triple, baby. Oh, actually, that's a quad kill. The entire team is getting nearly wiped. It really seems that Murden just feels that Healing Static is the better sustain talent on level 13 over Bronzebeard Rage, no matter what he picks on level 4. Traditionally, what you would go for is the synergy with the level 4 talent, or you would go for more damage than Bronzebeard Rage. But we have seen this now at least twice. So there is always, of course, the option that somebody just misclick the talent, but he seems to maybe even believe that this is just beneficial for him. There's a lot of fights, of course, happening with so many melees where you should be able to hit multiple targets, but that's something that you also know a bit earlier. And the damage that Meridian just in general dishes out is not that impactful compared to other heroes here. So, yeah. But either way, whatever they're doing, it's working for them. 16-3 is pretty damn good, or 15-3. They still have that level advantage. Now they've also destroyed the top 4. They're also destroying the Haka. At the perfect moment, by the way. The fort in the middle is nearly gone too. So with the entire outer ring of defense destroyed, with the Haka now dead, they're going in with Garden Terrors, and damn son, are they gonna wreck this. This is going to be brutal for the Akatsuki. They really have to find a solution for this, and I just don't see it right now. So, yep, there it is. There's another quick jump that's happening right now. Alright, and they're trying to go for Kerrigan. Ultralisk! Not yet. Ultralisk at this point already in a bit of trouble, but he survives. The blue team is a bit low and had to slowly retreat, but that doesn't change the fact that there's still Garden Terrors in the middle and down at the bottom of the map that are doing a work here. Another slide, another hit. They're trying to go for the next move, and a good Ancestral came out to make sure that the blue team can push this even further. Quick jump from ETC, and they take down Stukov. Nicely done. Really well played. Mirrodin is finally dead, but the damage in the middle and down at the bottom of the map just continues. Kerrigan, Greymane, they're both gone. 3 heroes eliminated on the red team side. The blue team has already lost 2. But yes, it is a tough game for the Akatsuki now. Especially since they're losing the Haka again. 1 keep will fall 100%. Just look at the kill count. It's absolutely insanity. 21 kills to 5. 21 kills to 5. If there was ever a team that went to their opponents like hot butter through cheese, then it is Team Ash and the Akatsuki here. For sure. All the keeps have taken damage. Top keep has been destroyed. And boy, oh boy, if the Akatsuki were Swiss cheese, they would be the version with extra holes in them. Like, yeah. Coming back here, good luck trying. You're 2 levels behind. You've lost nearly everything. There's only 2 keeps standing. Both have taken damage. The bot lane keep in particular. And they haven't taken down a single fort yet. So bad news to say the least. And of course, the blue team is now even more aggressive than it usually would be, because why wouldn't they? They know that they have the momentum. They're in the driver's seat. They're making all the decisions right now. ETC, bit of a Sudoku moment by him here. So, yep, Jaina though with the ice block, delaying a potential kill, trying to turn it around. He has to dodge the Haka and does. And now it's Varian who's in trouble. Varian finds himself on the wrong side of this issue. And after Mirrodin gets killed, the frontliner for the Akatsuki get also obliterated. So, well played. With that, another potential push for keep number 2. 1 at a time, baby. 1 at a time. And this structure is not gonna make it either. Even with the level 16 talents that the Akatsuki have now, this is just not gonna be a thing. So yes, 2 keeps destroyed. We're 12.5 minutes into the game. Catapults will pressure everywhere. And of course, if you're taking a look at the experience, the passive experience lead that we're now getting from Team Ash is pretty incredible. I mean, that's 4,000 points that they're ahead on this. 4,000. That's a lot. So unless you're starting to take some of these forts out, this is just gonna widen. And ETC is jumping across the map. It's just, yeah, every single time the cooldown is ready, it's just like, let's go. Yeah, he wants to really engage in those fights. But okay, the seed will finally be taken by the blue team as they're fighting over here. Ice block, and Jaina makes it out. Damn, Jaina actually got out of the fight. Not bad. Didn't expect that. Can they get another kill here? Look at the minimap, by the way. Catapults at the top and the bot lane, both marching forward to the core. Jaina down, Greymane gone too, but the only range damage healer for Team Ash has now been destroyed, but Kerrigan will fall in a moment. Vanilla might also die, and does. Rega gets wrecked. Kerrigan still alive. Imperius down. Ultralisk, and he lives. Ultralisk actually lives. ETC jumps onto the same spot. That was a mistake. So now they're going for the entire team. They might even get the full wipe. Yep, Murden, Shizakid. Okay, he gets away. Shizakid gets away. Catapults on the core. Carrigan will be able to defend it, but it's going to take damage. And the keep in the middle, oh my god, it's so low. Look at the core, 80%. And the keep in the middle nearly destroyed too. 24 kills to 11. Guys, we have 35 kills in this game. 35. That is more than 2 kills per minute what we're talking about right now. I mean, they caught up in experience a bit. You gotta give them that. There's another seat that they can now potentially take. But holy moly. This game. The Akatsuki, imagine the Akatsuki winning this. If they would make a comeback here, that would be the biggest 6.5 out of 10 moment in all IGN eternity. So, yeah. Level 20, though, for the blue team is now ready. And obviously, they have so far not lost a fort. So, they are still very much believing into their chances to ending this one quickly. We have them now with Storm Talons, too. Which makes things, of course, also pretty favorable for the blue team. Thankfully, for their opponents, for the Akatsuki, we now have... Storm Talons just around the corner for them as well. That's why they're currently so defensively positioned here. They're just waiting for the Haka to get some extra experience. And they're also trying to guard the rest of the map. The problem is still, as long as the game continues, I mean, with every single minute that passes, catapults become stronger and there will be more pressure on the core. So that's an issue. So team fights have to be won and they have to be won quickly. Like here, Murden goes down, they got level 20. There's a chance to bring this back now. Jaina may be in trouble and yep, there's another kill. Guys, the kills are coming. They get 1, they get 2, and they get number 3. Imperius is gone. Renella gets wrecked. And that's all of a sudden 4 heroes dead. Can we dream? Is this happening? Is this actually happening? Look at this. They locked 2 kills in already. Then after Jaina, they go for Imperius. And now they take down, of course, towards the end, Rhaegar as well. So, ETC is on the core, and it's trying to take it out, and I'm not sure if Menador, can he get the kill? Yes! 40%! 38%, but the keep in the middle is about to get destroyed. I can't believe this is happening. You gotta be kidding me. How? How is this happening? 24 kills to 16, the core at 38%, and the Akatsuki are just going for gold and take the lead in this series. What the hell did I just watch? Oh, glorious.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
So if anybody needed a reminder they should never give up in a game, then I believe the last map was that. So they came back 6.5 out of 10 moment. IGN would be proud. IGN would be really proud here. Battlefield of Eternity is our second map, and with no combat mechanics in the game, the Akatsuki were still able to turn it around and now have the lead in the best of 3 series here in the winner bracket of qualifier number 5. Quick reminder, in addition to the 18 pre-bans, every single hero that has been played in the previous game cannot be played again. Chromie immediately gets the axe. Now we get Urel banned out too. And of course, Team Ash is probably mad. I know I would be. Can you imagine being this far ahead, essentially taking all your opponent's keeps out, and then still losing the game, even though you haven't even lost a single fort at that point? That must hurt. They got maybe a bit sloppy there towards the end in team fights, but I feel for them, I have to admit. So, Urel banned out, the Panda gets banned too. Battlefield of Eternity gives us, of course, a couple of options of what we could see as heroes, as damage dealers. Jimmy is one of them. We could see Suljin again as well. One hero that we won't see in this qualifier is Li Ming. She was one of the recent additions for qualifier number 5 that has been banned out, which therefore, of course, means that one of the go-to damage dealers for Battlefield of Eternity is now fully unavailable for this entire thing. And I think, yeah, with Cassia now banned too, a couple of mages of course still being around, always highlighting Nazebo as a potential pick for Battlefield of Eternity as well. But generally speaking, I think Suljin and Jimmy are definitely options for the teams now. But again, one thing that is being fought over no matter what is frontline tanks, particularly now that Team Ash has actually taken ETC and Imperius in game number 1 and not used them as an actual tank. Both of these can work in a main tank position, but they have now both been picked, cannot be picked again, so that tank pool is getting reduced fast. Currently, we still have options, and with them locking in Uther, this might also be an Uther main tank right there. Okay. Uther main tank, maybe. If not, they still have Stitches and a few others to go for. Stitches would actually work with Uther really well too. You get a hook, you get a stun. Lunara, on the other hand, fantastic against the Immortal and structures. So, yep, can do some things here. But I want to see what the damage is going to be for the Akatsuki. Malthael as an early pick. And we get Deckard Cain as the support. For the blue team, though, I want to skip over the bans, honestly. I really want to see if they're playing an Uther main tank or if we're going to get Uther as a traditional healer here. The ban, on the other hand, for Team Ash, again, they could ban some of the damage out that is still available here. There's obviously a couple of options, but even going in and taking Suljin out at this point, it can make sense. He has been played several times now in Battlefield of Eternity throughout the last few qualifiers, and for good reason. Here comes Reyna, so they ban out Jimmy instead, which makes Suljin as an added option even more interesting. There is, of course, also the chance that Team Ash is picking him for themselves. But if they do that, then they definitely have to rethink a bit on how they're playing. Well, actually, they could still play Uther main tank, another support, have their side lane and that, so still option for them. But the Akatsuki, yep, they banned Suljin out. Bit of a sad moment. I would have loved to see Suljin stack again. But what are we getting then? Now that Jimmy and Suljin are both banned out, what are we getting instead? Is it time for player killer number 1? Are we getting player killer number 1 in the game? Is it time for Nova? Is anybody busting out Cho'Gall here? If anyone does it, it's not going to be Team Ash. Not against Cocoon and against Malthael with Last Rites. That's just not happening. So yeah, Melganis and Thrall as picks. That also answers the question if we're actually going to see an Uther main tank or not. So the answer is no, Uther will be solo healing. And on top of that, we have now the double pick for the team that is missing their range damage. Is Nezebo now an option with a spider build to poke the Immortal down from afar? Now that's something that they would consider here. Do they just play some mages? I mean, we still have Kel'Thas in. We Medivh, okay. And we get Tychus. Medivh and Tychus for the red team as the final pick is about to happen for Team Ash. Again, they gotta win 2 in a row now if they want to stay in the winner bracket. If they lose here, they drop down into the lower bracket, have another chance to make it all the way to the grand final, of course, which they've actually done in previous qualifiers. But I would assume that they would love to make their own life a little bit easier by just staying in the winner bracket in the first place. And we get Samuro. Nice. Samuro's in the house. Battlefield of Eternity. Game number 1, everybody. Game number 2. Game number 2, everyone. Let's go. Ash versus Akatsuki. Game number 2. Blue team is trailing. And this is match point for their opponents. On the left side, we have Renella on Uther. We got Bishops on Lunara. Morenas is playing Thrall. Could have gone into Trash Lightning. We saw that the other day with huge success, I might add. But yeah, he is technically, or he could be part of the format, but it seems that they are still solo playing him. Shizakid on Melganis, Lopaka on Samuro, and over on the right side, the Akatsuki with Banana H on Deckard Cain. Skok is playing Inubarak, Menaldor plays Malthael, Ultralisk, of course, on Medivh, and Außenseiter is playing Tychus. And off we go. Gonna keep our eyes on the stacks for Medivh. Same time on a Pale Horse for Malthael, so could see a lot of rotations from him happening here, depending on how they want to play this out. Get that side lane experience as well. And on the other side, we got the Way of the Wind for Samuro. Okay, so yeah, slowly and steadily. Bit of pressure play down at the bottom of the map. Again, blue team has to be very careful now. If they make a few mistakes, then they find themselves again into the loser's bracket, and I personally would assume that they would just love to prevent this from happening again, especially in the first round of the tournament, of course. Samuro can be an absolute pain in the butt as we're heading into mid and late game, so they have to be careful on that. Another play is being made here. Yeah, they're already trying to go for a kill. Couple of easy hits. The problem, of course, is that now it's a 3 versus 3 down at the bottom of the map, since Medivh has moved up towards the top and help out with double orc pressure play that Team Ash is currently executing here. So, yeah, as is. Thrall is moving down to the bottom of the map. 10 stacks already for Medivh. And this camp is likely going to be taken by the blue team. It's a 4 versus 3 now. Medivh will arrive, but I'm not so sure if he will arrive in time, and the answer seems to be no. Gets the portal at least out, so they can't go for aggressive portal plays at this point, but at least they were able to save everybody that was being attacked. Especially if you're losing your healer, you're of course going to be in real trouble there. Now, one camp already taken. Blue team successfully claimed it at the bot lane, and now we still have one all the way up at the top that they could technically try and go for, which we will very likely see in a second. Shizakid already getting pinned down a bit here, but still alive and still kicking up to this point where he finally falls. So the Akatsuki start things off with first blood. They get their kill. Nicely done. All the way up towards the top. We now have Malthael starting this one up. Wants, of course, some assistance here too. Level 4 talents are slowly kicking in. Ultralis is, on the other hand, sitting at 18 stacks, so not too bad. Really nice stacking progress for him. With Medivh, you want to get those done as quickly as you possibly can. Stuns, nice, against Lopaka. And there's the portal play. They know exactly where he is, but he might still be able to get out of this one. So, yep, there's the stun, and this is not looking good for Samuro at all. So, yeah, he's trying to escape. They know perfectly well where he is. You can run, baby. You cannot hide anymore. This is not happening. Portals everywhere. They really want him, and they're going to get him eventually. But he wastes an enormous amount of time. Swaps out again. Don't tell me. No way. No freaking way.
Hail to the king, baby.
Holy shit! Juke City, baby! Mayor Lopaka. Bow to the king. He got out. He actually got away from them. That is insane. Man, in the meantime, the Immortal fight has already started. But that is insanity. The Great Escape from 2023. Quest for Medivh is now completed too. But absolutely bonkers. He was able to get out there. Whoa. That was some crazy shit. I'm actually surprised that nobody paused the game, because I think Samuro needed a second or two to just clap himself on the shoulder a couple of times. That was impressive, dude. I mean, they had him nailed down at the start. They knew exactly what he would try and do. They covered all their bases, every copy, and then he pulls that off. So yeah, nice jukes. Really well done. But on the objective itself, it seems that it is extremely even, and I'm not sure who's going to win this one. Seems like the blue team might just have it, but it's going to be very close. Everybody is moving in for the damage, and more, it's down to the wire. The red team, with 144 hit points on the shield, is able to take it. 144 hit points. Damn. This is basically like an auto attack or two, and then you got it. Level 7 in there a bit earlier for Team Ash. They are fighting tooth and nail right now. Yep. Quest completed. Time to feed. Medivh goes down, but they're not going to be too mad about this. The Akatsuki still, even with Medivh being lost here, they have taken the Immortal, and at the end of the day, that's all that you're trying to accomplish in that situation. You're going to get some damage at the wall, you're not going to get much more than that, but they can, of course, go for a bit of a two-pronged attack. It's not going to be anything insane, but just trying to maybe drop a tower down here would already help them. Issue is that they were a bit slow to take the minion wave down, so now the rotation is happening from the top. Lunara is coming in, and even without... Excuse me? Yep, thumbs up, baby. They couldn't decide on who would go for the final blow, and so Tigers just walks out of the fight. Tigers just walks out of the fight. Like, all right, boys. Like, yeah, see you later. Good talking to you guys. Good talking to you. I'm out of here now. Don't mind me. I'm just walking away. Insane. Oh god, this is a very entertaining series. I love it. Okay, so Mal'Ganis is coming in again. Bit low. Shizakit, grenade, not enough to take him on. But they go for Uther. And yep, he dies. Uther is gone, is ghosting around a bit. Portal plays, trying to capture Thrall 2. And he is dead. In the meantime, Lunara is just padding her stats a little bit with all that damage over time. She's still not able to catch up with the War Chief. 17,000 for Thrall, 16,000 for Lunara. There are 3 kills to 2. And just an absolute incredible position for the Akatsuki for this next one. They have camps pushing, they took some additional kills here. Tychus is doing well so far. Level 10 would of course be great to also unleash Odin for him. But Team Ash is fighting back every opportunity they can. And Samuro in particular is somebody that in the later stages of the game you have to watch out for. We've seen so many games where he can just go for structure after structure, or even just for the objective here. But the blue team is a bit faster on the objective and is taking it very, very nicely. That's pretty comfortable for them. Yeah, they're gonna like that. The only problem is that the lead happened because the Akatsuki went for their camp. So that camp could really pose a problem for the top of the map. So that's the issue here. Especially since Malthael is moving it in. Keep in mind he's level 1 talent on a pale horse, so he can join the fight fairly quickly. That's the whole idea here. They're trying to go for Thrall again. Thrall gets wrecked. Stay a while and get wrecked. Deckard Cain coming in and absolutely crushing it there. Now they're going for Uther, who has to use the Divine Shield on himself. Not so sure if that is going to save him. Level 10 abilities on both sides, and yep, they really, really want him. And I think this time they're going to get the kill. So yes, he goes down. Bambi is dealing with the top now. That fort has already taken way more damage than they're going to be comfortable with, I can tell you that much. But the question is still, can they turn the Immortal battle around and claim it? Because guess who's knocking on the other side? It is Samuro. They shouldn't quite be able to pull this off though, because there's too many... Well, actually now that Lunara joins, that's a different story. Beforehand I would have given it to the Akatsuki, but now there's too many blue heroes that are trying to lock the second objective in. And this is looking better and better. If Lunara can get a few more auto attacks in, that's all that they need here. So they're trying to defend instead and maybe poke from a distance now. But they will be running out of time a bit. So, it's dicey. When it comes to talents, we have also Blade Storm for Samuro. Thornwood Vines, Sundering. A nice lock against Anubarak. Oh, stun into stun. And Anub is alive. The Immortal, on the other hand, is not. Yeah, the Immortal is gonna be taken. Morena survives with Thrall, so all the attempts of the Akatsuki to get some additional kills have, up to now, not paid off. They weren't able to do that. 2 kills to 5, as mentioned. At the top, still pressing a little bit, pushing, trying to make some plays, and take the first fort of the game out. So far, we haven't seen one fall yet. We have 26,000 damage for Tychus, and this Immortal has a bit of a bigger shield. Nothing insane, though. Medivh soloing at the bottom of the map against Thrall, and up at the top, they've more or less given up on this. Instead, they're trying to see if they can take Mal'Ganis down. The answer, as so often, is no. Mal'Ganis has just a little bit too much mobility, escape tools too. So, yeah, 5 kills to 2, 12 to 12 on the levels. Letting the Immortal go too. It's already taking too much damage here. They don't want to push with this. Instead, they're hoping to destroy another fort at the bottom of the map, but the response is immediate. Sundering, and with shield and portal, Ultralisk survives. Question is, can they still push everybody else back? And it's looking good for them. So they haven't lost the bottom fort. Didn't lose a hero there either. And they're still trying to force the fight. And coming in again with Anubarak. Stay a while and get maybe wrecked. Not quite yet, because the Divine Shield is there. So, yeah, Uther definitely saw that one coming. Our Sensaito, shield or no shield? How is he walking out of these fights? Like, how is this happening? Nobody wants to kill him. I have no idea if Tychus hasn't taken a bath in a week or two and they're staying away from him because of that, or what the reason is. But every time that he's about to die, they're just like, nah, not today. And then they lose Uther and Mal'Ganis. So now Tychus, he could have easily been killed. Instead, they're losing 2 of their own. And it's all about the fort at the bottom of the map now. Samuro is still pushing topside a bit, but this one might not get destroyed, but they're definitely going to get a lot of damage for free. And Malzael, he's going to be the one to deal with Samuro up at the top. And the push down here isn't even done. More damage coming in. Lunara is by now sitting at 33,000 damage, same as Tychus. Still poking, prodding, and with that we now also have another portal escape facilitated by Medivh, who is at a respectable 28,000 damage. That's not shabby, that's pretty good. Getting that early completion on his quest was pretty important. So yeah, Menaldor dealing with the top lane still. Both teams have now level 13 talents. And I have absolutely no idea who's going to win this game. In kills, the Akatsuki are way ahead. Nice cleanse on the Cocoon. Alright. That was neatly done. I mean, while they're just like going for the next immortal, we can take another look at this. Look at Anubarak and his Cocoon plays, trying to go for Lunara. So down here, Anubarak coming in a second. Cocoon flies in. And then it's just like, nope. Not happening. And instead they go for Ultraless. The Immortal is up. Samuro sitting at the sides here. Is apparently going for the Immortal instead, but Thrall gets called, has to use Sundering. So they catch him initially. Can they get a kill? Can they get a last ride? No, the Divine Shield to ruin it. But Bambi gets murdered anyways. Bambi is as dead as his mother. And now they're trying for the backline again. Everybody that's running away past that fort is now endangered. Thanks to Mal'Ganis, they still survive, but the fort doesn't. It doesn't really change the fact that Samuro has in the meantime nearly taken the halftime show. So Samuro has just completely abandoned the fight at some point and has said, you know what, this isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna happen. So instead I'm going to dish out some damage. And they get the halftime show here. Some counter damage has been done. Problem is, as always, Lunara is already back. The death timers are so low that by the time you are looking at a 5-man again for the blue team. So can they now get damage done quicker? Maybe. But there's also Samuro sitting at the top side keep. And somebody has to deal with that eventually. Cocoon is out again for Mal'Ganis, so they buy themselves a little bit of time here. Good damage on the Immortal. They try more. And they're going to get this one. And it's a pretty nasty shield. Very nice shield. Samuro is still doing damage, but of course they're now heading back to try and take him, well, if not out, I mean out would be ideal, but if not that, then at least make sure that the keep doesn't fall. And apparently they don't want to waste any time with him. Which lets him to just attack it again. Samuro is just absolute cancer. He is the Red Dota hero of the storm. So, yeah. Thrall is down at the bottom of the map. They're just nibbling at the edges. They're like rats nibbling at the edges and destroying everything. And if you just don't pay attention to them and you just let them do whatever they want, then all of a sudden everything is falling apart. And Samuro and Thrall are now both down at the bottom of the map and they're taking the fort out. Now, as they are doing their thing, the Immortal has claimed the topside fort. And now with Odin, they're again going for the attack. The Akatsuki are pretty much doing what they're doing in game number 1. They at some point just say, alright, fuck it. We go YOLO. That's what they're doing. They're just saying, like, guys, we are losing ground. Let's just go. Let Samuro do his thing. Let him take that wall down. We're taking their keep. We're going to push ahead now. We're taking the keep, and if we can get a few more kills, we're going core. So Samuro has to at some point also decide what exactly he wants to do. Now, this keep is going to fall. Leyline is out, and if they catch Thrall now with this, they're trying to take him down. Morenas, and he's dead. Samuro has to head back. There is no other way. They need him. And he just halved back, and that was definitely necessary. That shield was nearly gone, and the blue team, I mean, again, if the red team decides to go for it, they can definitely take some points off the core, but they didn't want to risk too much there either. But just look at how close these two are in experience. Experience is insane. Alright. So, by now, we got 22,000 passive experience against 21k. Of course, hero experience, huge gap. But the blue team makes up for it to an extent through their minion experience. They're just with Samuro sitting at that lane, doing their thing over and over and over again. With the topside fort and keep destroyed, Team Ash has now a lot of pressure mounting up on them that they have to deal with eventually. And this is something that can be taken around the next objective to make sure that there's even more pressure at the top and that will eventually force them to defend. So, yeah, there's that. But either way, we now have Skog sitting still down at the bottom of the map. Anchoring plays a little bit, trying to get some vision, of course. We have level 10 versus... like 10 kills against 2. Level 18 versus level 17, and here's the next Immortal coming. This one is going to become interesting. Because now, as predicted, the camp is about to be taken. They want to create pressure at the top lane. Samuro is already trying to relieve that pressure by pushing more and more minion waves out. But this could now be a really interesting Immortal, because there's very different approaches on how the teams could deal with this. But since the blue team has pushed out their top side very nicely, it means that there's not going to be any pressure anytime soon. So Ultralisk is currently trying to mitigate that a little bit by taking the catapult out as well, and making sure that the camp at the top is going to get a lot of momentum for them. But they also have to face the music here in the middle of the map right now, and they are closing on level 19. That gives them a bit of a stats advantage, but they're not looking at any kind of massive talent lead, which is of course the initial goal. Lopaka, can they finally kill him? Maybe. I mean, this time he has to die, right? He has to die this time, and there it is. Samuro is dead, and that's your opportunity. That is your big opportunity, and look how well that fight is going for them in the middle. They nearly got another kill against Renella, and we still have Mal'Ganis in the back. Stun, he's trying to get out. No! Außenseiter, not like this! Tigers gets killed at the worst moment in time, just as they were doing so well. They go for Renella again though, and they take him. The Ghost is still a bit of a problem, but if the blue team doesn't get a kill here, then the Akatsuki are in a decent spot, and their camp is pushing the top lane, is going for the core. Here's the opportunity. Middle door, Malthael, it's a double kill. Thrall is gone, so is Malthael. They take Mal'Ganis down, and now can they maybe go core? I mean, there's a double catapult on the core already as is, and now they're just slowly moving back with Lunara to try and defend and make sure it loses not too many hit points. As a matter of fact, it's only 2% that are missing, but it's the halftime show that is the big question now, because here are the Akatsuki reigning supreme in the middle of the map. But for how long? Level 20 on their end gives them no one can stop death. Respect the Elderly is in. We got the big red button, and we get Medivh cheat. So he is cheating as usual. We didn't need the talent named that way, Blizzard. We know that. That's just a matter of fact. 72,000 damage for Lunara. 51,000 damage for Tychus, though. And with Mal'Ganis still down for another 10 seconds, I don't really think that they're going to try for the objective. It's just a 5-man against 4. You're not going to do too much. Maybe trying to take this out a little bit, reduce the shield. That's the best that you can hope for here. And Nubarak is, of course, going to attempt and slow them down as best as he can. But essentially, this is going to be an objective pushing for the Akatsuki. And they're trying for a Bambi kill. And Bambi should actually die. Bambi should die, and she does. Bambi is down, and that is your biggest asset when you're trying to defend. 3 stacks from Malthael, 15-second cooldown reduction by now, but that is a massive, massive loss to Team Ashe. This might be game. This could be disastrous for them right now. It's a real problem. It's their best defender against the Immortal, and they just lost her. 44 seconds, Immortal is already on the way. The shield is massive, but now Shizakit goes down. That's Mal'Ganis gone. That's a 5 versus 3 on the map. They lose Thrall. They lose Renella. This is a disaster. I mean, he at least has redemption, so he'll be back. But they are just ignoring him, and they're just saying, all right, boys, let's go. Let's end the game. Akatsuki without mercy as usual. They're moving in, and they are looking to end the series. 19 kills to 4. 19 to 4, and they're going for core. This is game. This is the match. Team Ashe gets dropped down into the losers bracket as the Akatsuki take victory on Battlefield of Eternity and claim the series with a 2-0. GG, well played, pretty impressive and very entertaining match.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.